Well, our time at Ningaloo and Coral Bay has come to an end. We're putting air back in and we're heading down to Carnarvon today. We've had a minor little change of plans, but it's not a biggie. Got to get to Carnarvon for a medical appointment. So yeah, we stayed last night at Broomajoo. There was a lot of people there. We didn't want to film, plus there wasn't really that much for us to show you, to be honest. And we went and caught up with our friends in Coral Bay yesterday afternoon. So yeah, not a great deal to show you there, but then we showed you the best bits of Coral Bay in our Rocks to Reef series anyway. So yeah, for now we're going to jump on the road, and the next bit of the trip should be a lot more exciting. We're going to go out through the Kennedy Ranges with the trailer in tow. So stay tuned, that should be a really exciting bit to watch. Anyway, we'll show you it as we go. Did you enjoy Ningaloo?
I love Ningaloo, and 3 days was definitely not enough time.
So there's a lot to do at Ningaloo, a lot more than I probably anticipated. There's plenty of forward driving if you want to do that, especially where we stayed at Windrabandi Point. You're right at the gateway into the bombing range, and as we showed you yesterday with just a few snippets, there's a lot to see in that area, provided you can get in there. Obviously sometimes they are utilising that area for training and for bombing, so it's closed and you can't, but provided you can get through there, there's a lot to explore. So
like, we didn't even touch on fishing or snorkeling or any of the main activities of Ningaloo.
yeah, we obviously forgot our snorkeling gear, but we've got the rods, we've got the bait and the tackle and everything, and yeah, we didn't even find time to flick a line in the water. So yes, guilty again of having not spent or having not allocated enough time to the area, but I guess just means we'll come back. You know, I spoke to a lot of people about the old Ningaloo Station prior to when Parks and Wildlife took over it, and I think yeah, that takeover, Parks and Wildlife taking over the management of Ningaloo, is going to be a great thing. It's a lot easier to get campsites, get bookings. Obviously they've installed a lot of facilities, and no longer are the camps closed behind a padlock gate that you need to get a key for. You can drive through here coming from Exmouth or coming up from Coral Bay, and you can go out to South Lefroy and you can sit there on the beach and you can kayak and you can enjoy the area without having to get a key and without having to pay for it. You only got to pay if you're coming to camp. So yeah, I think Deport taking over, great job. Alright, well, we are making our way out of Carnarvon. So we came down here this morning, had a medical appointment. So the very brief details regarding that was Jess just got a blocked ear from swimming. So we just had that saw to by the doctor, and it's all fixed now, which is good, because obviously we don't want to be taking that with us to Dirk Hartog Island where there's no medical help. So we thought we'd get it seen to earlier rather than later. So now we can move on to our section of trip through the Kennedy Ranges. So yeah, we've just refueled again. Some stats for you. Coming up to Carnarvon, we did 18 litres to the 100 towing the trailer, and going up into Ningaloo with the trailer. All the off-road work we did, going around into Exmouth, going down to Coral Bay, coming back into Carnarvon where we refueled again. We were using 22 litres to the 100. So pretty respectable considering the sort of what we're demanding in the car. So yeah, I'm not going to complain about that at all. Anyway, we've got about 150 to 180 odd k's of bitumen before we get out to Gascoyne Junction, the Kennedy Ranges. We're going to stop at Rocky Pool on the way through and show you that. Probably have a swim for ourselves, and then yeah, get into the Kennedys, get into the thick of it, get onto some forward drive tracks, and yeah, put the trailer through its paces a bit more. So looking forward to it. Fingers crossed it all goes well. I'm sure you're all wondering why I'm reversing down this hill. Well, there's a lovely shady spot here where I wanted to get the car and the trailer for lunch, but the easiest way to get down there with the trailer was going to be to reverse it down so that I could come back up the hill forwards. So that's what I did. Well, we've arrived at the quite awesome rocky pool. So on the Gascoyne River, this is one of the few permanent water holes where there's water year round. It's a day use only area. You can't camp here, unfortunately, but obviously you can still come down to these nice spots here, like where we are on the edge of the river, find a little bit of patch for yourselves and enjoy it for a couple of hours. So that's exactly what we've done. We're going to have lunch here. Jess and I have just gone for a swim, a bit of a cool off and refresh. Got a nice spot here in the shade, a little bit of a breeze just to, you know, keep you refreshed. And yeah, we'll have a bite to eat for lunch. Probably sit here for a bit and just take it in and enjoy it. And then we'll continue on our way towards the Kennedys. If you want to see more content and behind the scenes of great off-road adventures, go and jump on our other social media platforms and check them out. Well, we've just gotten to the bottom of the Kennedy Ranges. We haven't quite made it all the way to Gascoyne Junction yet. We've taken a quick detour off the road. We've come up the Marta Thurner Road up to the Gascoyne River. So you can see there what we're doing. We're just going to check out the crossing now on our way through. Our plan is actually to head up the eastern side of the Kennedy Ranges, checking out the gorges this afternoon, and then cross over the top of the Kennedys tomorrow, and then come back down the western side. And of course we need to be able to cross this river to get out of the Kennedy Ranges to get back onto the main road. And if not, it's a massive big detour to go around, and it may mean for us that we miss the barge to Dirk Hartog Island. So we are just going to take 10 minutes out of our day now to quickly check the condition of the river crossing before we come down here on Friday morning and find ourselves in strife. So thought better be safe than sorry. Took my thongs off and now the sand's burning my feet. Well, I can tell you the sand's pretty soft. We'll have some fun coming through here on the way back. As the key with all sand, it's all about tyre pressures. If you know it's soft, you just let a bit more out. All right, well, we fell to the sand and it is soft, but it's going to be no worse than any sort of beach, which we're pretty confident we'll be able to get through, no worries. Just let the tyres down appropriately. We just want to see if there's any water over the far side of the river. It's a long walk.
We don't feel like walking.
It's 2:30 in the afternoon. It's like 35 degrees. So I'm going to cheat. I'm going to fly my drone. Work easy or work hard? I know what I'm going to pick. Well, this gives you some idea of the scale of this river crossing. It is a touch on 500 metres from the trees on this side of the bank to the trees on the other side of the bank. And as you can see, there are pretty much no options for recovery other than max tracks and tyre pressure if you get stuck out in the middle here, especially when you're travelling on your own. If you've made it this far into the episode, guys, go down there, smash that subscribe button, enable the bell for notifications on future videos, and give us a thumbs up because you're obviously enjoying it. Well, we've gotten to the Kennedy Ranges. We've come straight to Honeycomb Gorge. And I tell you what, even just the drive in has impressed me. It's stunning. The main road is too far back from the ranges. You don't actually get to see the grandeur and the size of them. So it's really worthwhile coming in here. It is the touristy side of things, but I mean, it's pretty cool. I'll spin you around and have a look. Like I said, pretty cool. So we're just gonna do the walk into Honeycomb Gorge quick, check it out, show you it, and then we weren't planning on camping down here. We were planning on trying to go up and onto the cross track at the top of the range and camping along there, but I think we're just going to have to see how we go for time and what's going to be achievable, but we'll keep you in the loop anyway. What do you think?
It is awesome. So lovely and cool too.
Very impressive. And the best bit, got the place to ourselves. Yeah, that's cool. Definitely worth dropping in.
So how does the honeycomb form?
Did you read the sign?
Nope.
I don't know then.
But I'd ask. You know these things generally.
Magic? Erosion. Forms from erosion.
That's where the water runs though, isn't it? So how does that happen?
I don't know. Forms from erosion.
Oh, I'm going to have to read the sign.
Yep. Well, I've got to say, I absolutely loved checking out Honeycomb Gorge. It's such a shame we didn't have a little bit more time up our sleeves to go and check out the other gorges. They'll still be there when we want to travel up to Kennedy Ranges again. Now we know how beautiful it is, we will definitely be going back. Alright, well, we finished the Kennedy Ranges, made our way north up the eastern side, and we're just about to jump on the cross track that goes across the top of the ranges. So, good time to let the tyres down to the appropriate tyre pressure. Again, I'm probably going to go 20 front, 23 back, and about 16 on the trailer. I found that to be going to the Ningaloo and stuff a good pressure for the rocky corrugated terrain. When we get down to the river crossing, I'll go lower. The first section of the crossover track goes through Mount Sandyman Station. Now this is still an active cattle station and there are plenty of livestock around. So it pays to take it easy, take it slow. It also pays to be very familiar with the route. Make sure you've got it probably plotted out on a GPS to follow. Otherwise there's a high chance you'll get lost, and obviously that is not ideal. Well, we're making our way from Mount Sandyman Station across to the ranges, and again, this is an old relic of bygone days. Plenty of these things out here, as we showed you on a wildflower strip too. This looks like old homestead with, I think, shearing facilities attached to it. Might have been the old shearing quarters as well. So yeah, it's obviously run down, state of disrepair. But yeah, just literally just in the middle of nowhere on this track here. Great big round entrance to the place. And yeah, walking in, would have had a great big curved roof. I mean, this could have even been like the wool bale storage area. They might have like thrown it out on the tables and bailed it up. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell in the condition that it's in, but cool spot nonetheless. We just hopped out of the car for 5 minutes. We're driving straight into the setting sun at the moment. Not the greatest timing of things, so we've been going slow and it's requiring a lot of attention. So yeah, thought we'd just take 5 minutes to have a stretch the legs. Show you this place as well. The colours the sun is casting right now as we drive into it is absolutely just stunning. I love golden hour. It's awesome. So as annoying as it has been driving into the sun, it's actually been quite cool. Like the reds, the oranges, the colours you get out here is awesome. And honestly, it's big, wide open sky country. So yeah, sort of just been cruising along and taking it in. Well, once the sun dropped below the horizon, it did make it going a hell of a lot easier for us. So it's time to turn on the lights and keep on trucking. All right, everybody, we've arrived at camp for tonight. We can't show it to you because it's dark, but it's actually another old abandoned homestead. This one is called Ningaloo Station or Ningaloo Homestead, and it's right at the northeastern corner of the Kennedy Ranges. It's sort of at the start or the finish of the crossover track that crosses from the east side to the western side and vice versa. So yeah, we came up just at the last little bit of twilight or sunset, and where the station is actually on top of this sort of breakaway cliffy section. I'm really looking forward to showing you that tomorrow with the drone and also on the drive out. But yeah, we got a lovely camp tonight, heaps of stars out there. There's some like old bit of the station, some shed, water tank and whatnot. I reckon I can run a really cool time lapse. Well, fingers crossed anyway, at least. So I'm looking forward to a really cool night at camp tonight. We've got the whole place to ourselves. We haven't seen anybody else since we left Kennedy Ranges. This is remote Australian camping at its best. So the plan now, get the kitchen out, get dinner on the go, and enjoy it. Well, a bit of a trip planning slash, yeah, a bit of a hack for you guys. One thing Jess and I have done for quite a while, even before our Rocks to Reefs trip, we try to sort of plan out, obviously, what each day holds. And days that we know are going to be particularly long, like today was. We started early from Coral Bay. We woke up at 6 in the morning. We've been on the move for a lot of today. And we knew we were going to get to camp late. I didn't think I was going to be getting here in the dark, but we obviously had a bit of time lost in Carnarvon and whatnot, so yeah, it did drag the day out. But that aside, one of the tips that I've got for you is, if you know you're going to have a big day, organise some pre-cooked meals from home. So for dinner tonight, I pre-cooked a big batch of, I guess it's a specialty, it's like a spicy chorizo pasta. I pre-cooked all the sauce at home. I divided it out into 3 portions. I cryovac those 3 portions. So literally all I got to do tonight, as you can see there at the kitchen, is just boil a pot of water, throw the pasta in, cook the pasta probably about 3/4 of the way, and then drain out the water, add the sauce into the pasta, cook the last bit of the pasta at the same time, heat up the sauce, and hey presto, quick, simple, easy dinner is done, which is exactly what you want after a long day. It allows us to sit around and chill and enjoy the stars and enjoy camp. So there's a hack tip for you, help you out. Speaking of which, I better check on how things are going. What a night, hey? This would have to be probably one of the highlights of the trip so far for me, and we have so much more coming. So that is a wrap on episode 3. Make sure you come back for episode 4, because we get to what I now think is my favourite campsite in the whole of WA. I can't wait to show it to you guys. You know the deal. Happy, safe adventuring. Stay safe on the tracks and trails, and one day we'll see you out there.